Hi, Nick speaking. Welcome to my Soulless Necrons heavy support. We have the tomb spiders, the monolith, and the heavy destroyers. We'll start with the heavy destroyers. This unit can have between 1 and 3. They've got one big gun which gives you a single strength 9 AP2 hit. They're obviously on a destroyer body, so they can turbo boost, etc., just like Destroyer Lord. Usually it's a good idea to play these in 3s, because if you only have one by itself, it goes down, you have no chance of the will be back, because of the same model within 6 inches rule. To be fair, probably don't use these so much now. I used to, but in 5th edition, with the Annihilation mission, they are basically just an easy target. People did go for these as an easy kill point. But they can be quite useful, taking out tanks, obviously. The nice thing about these is they can actually move and shoot. So you do have the ability to move your 12 inches and actually shoot their gun. And basically 3 last cannons, potentially. They can do a lot of damage, but they are a bit vulnerable now, as I said, in 5th edition. The next heavy support choice is the monolith. And the monolith is 235 points. Your destroyers they're 65 points each. So not much difference in point costs. The monolith is armour 14 all round. I believe it's actually used quite a lot by most people. I do use it occasionally. It's a nice little surprise to come out with. But to be fair, I don't use it that much. It has some great rules. You've got the big crystal on top, which is your particle whip. And you can use that in 2 ways. You can use that to either shoot a big blast template, strength 9 AP3, or you can use it to teleport a Necron squad within 18 inches, the crystal, off the board, through the crystal, and back out the door. And the door does come up, if I can get that to work. There we go. Like so. And then when they come out, you can actually re-roll any fouled will be backs. It is very useful. The trouble is, I always, sadly, when I'm using it, I always see that being able to re-roll your will be backs as something that I would like to do, because I can do it. The trouble is, when you do that, you can't use the big weapon on the top. So it's sort of a bit of a choice there. If you don't shoot the big weapon on the top, you can shoot these flux arcs, and these flux arcs will shoot within any squad within 12 inches of the monolith, and there's a random amount, a D6 amount of shots, strength 5 on those. So lots of potential. You can deep strike this, and if you hold a squad of warriors in reserve, they can also come out of here when they come through reserve. The only trouble is you need at least the minimum squad of warriors before you can do that. So you have to have 3 squads of warriors to get a squad of warriors out of here. In terms of modelling it, the base there, I found that it's a bit unsturdy with the normal base. With my Eldar, I've actually drilled a bigger hole into the vehicles, allowing the rod to go in. Didn't really have that idea with this, and I came up with this sort of homemade base here. It's got quite a few rods on. It does the job quite nicely. And obviously the base comes off as well, so if the monolith is actually mobilised, then I can just take it out, and there it is in its glory. Got this extra base on the top just to make sure it goes in the slots, because that's a sort of design. You can see there's a cutout, so the extra base goes in there, 1 rod in the hole, and that's it. Does it quite nicely. It's a great model. There, I do really like it. So that's the monolith. And the other heavy support choice is the tomb spiders. These are basically a heavy support choice, and you can choose up to 3 spiders, and they can be deployed separately. Tomb spiders, there's two configurations. There's this one here which just has the claws, and this one here which has the particle whip. Particle whip sounds good, strength 5, AP 3, but with the ballistic skill of 2, so you need 5s to get the bullets out. Not actually that useful. They do have a few extra good things. They help towards the will be backs, the model within 12-inch rule. It's quite useful, and they are toughness 6, strength 6, monstrous creature. So they're quite tough. No invulnerable save, of course, because we're Necrons, and 2 wounds. And the other thing you can do with these is, in the assault phase, you can produce a scarab swarm. All you do is go in base contact and roll a dice. If you get a 1, you take a wound, and if you don't get a 1, then he's fine. When you produce this, these actually then become a unit. So effectively, the strength, the toughness is still toughness 6. So this is actually quite good. Now if I produce another one in the next assault phase, it would be different, because you get the majority model rule. And then if somebody's shooting at you, it would actually be strength toughness 3. So it's well worth producing 1 of these swarms. Maybe not more than 1 though. The other thing to remember as well is, when you produce this scarab swarm, if you put it at the front, you would actually be slightly closer to your enemy. So you have to be careful of that, because if your enemy's quite close, maybe say 18 inches away, you can move forward, he can shoot you now, whereas if you put it at the back, he's not going to be able to shoot you. Similarly, if you want to get closer to your opponent for the assault, you can put it at the front, and obviously you're a couple of inches closer. So just one thing to bear in mind when you produce this scarab swarm here. You know where everyone has something which always goes wrong? Well, mine is rolling a 1 when I produce a scarab swarm. No matter how hard I try, I always throw a 1. But there you go, can't be helped. So that's it really, my Soulless Necrons heavy support.